Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan. Here are your latest news headlines from around the world. An Italian judge who was killed by the Sicilian Mafia will be beatified on May the 9th. Rosario Livantino was gunned down after a Mafia hit squad ran his car off the road as he was driving on a Sicilian highway in September of 1990. He was 37 years old. The beatification date was announced by the Archbishop of Agrigento, Cardinal Francesco Montenegro. On December 22nd of last year, Pope Francis had authorised a decree recognising Judge Livantino's death as a martyrdom born of hatred for the faith. His cause of beatification was opened in 1993. It consists of collected testimony of the judge's heroic virtue and deep personal piety. That same year, Pope St. John Paul II praised the late judge as, quote, a martyr of justice and indirectly of the Christian faith. The Knights of Columbus have elected Patrick Kelly as their new Supreme Knight. Mr. Kelly is to replace the current Supreme Knight Carl Anderson, who will retire later this month. Mr. Anderson has been serving as the head of the organisation for 20 years. Speaking on the election of his successor, Mr. Anderson stated, quote, the Knights of Columbus board has elected an extraordinarily well-qualified new Supreme Knight in Patrick Kelly. Patrick has the experience and strong faith necessary to lead the Knights into the future. In his acceptance statement, Mr. Kelly said that he is looking forward to continuing Carl's great work, adding that he would strive to guide the Knights of Columbus by the principles of charity, unity and fraternity, according to the vision of Blessed Michael McGivney. Around 5,000 people participated in the Walk for Life 2021 event on Saturday, February the 6th in Adelaide, Australia. The event was organised by Love Adelaide, a pro-life movement in the country, and was held in protest against the introduction of the Termination of Pregnancy Bill 2020 in the Parliament of South Australia. The bill that has already been passed by the Upper House in South Australia proposes legalising abortions up to birth. The legislation would also allow sex selection abortions and ease access to abortifacient pills in rural locations in the state. According to the proposed bill, babies born alive during abortion procedures can be left unaided by medical professionals. The bill would also allow abortions to be carried out by healthcare professionals other than qualified doctors. The Walk for Life itself started at Pennington Gardens and made its way to the Parliament House. This year's event attracted more than 1,000 more attendees than last year's equivalent event. We open today the year of the mission. Let each of our communities enter into the missionary mode. We go out of our comfort zone to reach out to the peripheries. So spoke the Apostolic Administrator of the Archdiocese of Manila, Bishop Broderick Pabillo, at a Holy Mass in the city's cathedral, and at which a year-long celebration to commemorate 500 years of Christianity in the Philippines was announced. He was joined by Archbishop Charles John Brown, the newly appointed Papal Nuncio, and clergy from various parishes in the Archdiocese. The Jubilee year is to begin on Easter Sunday, April 4th, 2021, and will end with the second National Mission Congress in Cebu City from April the 18th to the 22nd, 2022. The theme for the 500th anniversary is, quote, gifted to give. Christianity was brought to the Philippines by the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan in the year 1521. Currently, more than 86% of the population in the country are Christians. The essential church networks trusted and rooted in local communities can reach the most vulnerable people and remote places where governments often struggle to reach. So reads a report released by the Catholic Agency for Overseas Development, or CAFOD, which is the official aid agency of the Catholic Church in England and Wales and part of Caritas International. The report, which was released on February the 7th, asks the UK government to recognise the role the Catholic Church has played during the pandemic in supporting people in need. Graham Gordon, Head of Policy at CAFOD and the author of the report, stated that the Church has the second largest aid network globally, Caritas Internationalis, and it is the only way to reach to the people with urgent need in many countries. The report also emphasises the humanitarian role of faith-based organisations. Mr. Gordon's text invites governments and donors to partner with the Catholic Church to effectively reach out to people suffering from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. On Friday, the 5th of February, the US Supreme Court ruled against the state of California's prohibition of indoor church services. California Governor Gavin Newsom had banned all indoor church services as part of a series of COVID-19 restrictions. South Bay United Pentecostal Church and Harvest Rock Church had filed a suit against this prohibition. With a 6-3 majority, the court blocked the state's restrictions. The court majority stated that interrupting the citizens' religious freedom is a violation of the Constitution. In a statement following the Supreme Court verdict, Archbishop of San Francisco Salvatore Cordileone said, "This is a very significant step forward for basic rights. This decision makes clear we can now return to worshipping safely indoors without risk of harassment from government officials." The Archbishop continued, "The Supreme Court has now made it very clear to California government that permitting this is a fundamental right and the law of the land. Singing and chanting are still prohibited in church buildings, and the number of people inside a church is limited to 25% of the total capacity." Finally, on Sunday, February the 7th, Pope Francis shared his concerns about what he termed an Italian demographic winter. After the Sunday Angelus prayer in Rome, the Pope highlighted that the birth rate in the country is decreasing and warned that the future is in danger. That same day, Italy celebrated the Day for Life with the theme of freedom and life. The Holy Father stated that freedom was a great gift that God has given us. This freedom should enable us to speak and achieve our own good and that of others, beginning with the primary good of life. The Pope stressed that society needs to be healed from all attacks on life in order to protect life at all stages. According to the National Statistics Bureau (ISTAT), Italy recorded only 435,000 births in 2019. And those are your headlines for now. We will be back later on in the week. Until then, Shalom.